2020 candidate Joe Biden giving a new warning to the far left after Prime Minister Boris Johnson leads Conservatives to victory in the UK elections. Biden reportedly telling San Francisco fundraiser, look what happens when the Labour Party moves so far to the left. They come up with ideas that are not able to be contained with an irrational basis quickly. Gary, does he have a point?
Well, he's making 2 points. The first point is the country more to the center than most of the Democratic candidates? I think that point is valid. Polls show that. But his subtle point that he's really making is, and I am in the center, so vote for me. Unfortunately, I think that's a loser. I mean, as we've seen, Biden is a low energy, has no charisma whatsoever. So if it's a vote for Biden, I think that's wrong. If it's Democratic Party should change, oh, by the way, they're all big spending lefties. He's just a little left. So that's probably correct. I'm not sure if they're going to move more toward the center. I guess we'll see, though.
But Jackie, didn't Biden have to actually step forward, right? Because if he didn't, wouldn't Mayor Bloomberg actually step in and try to steal the thunder?
Well, he would be considered the other moderate there. And I think really, to Gary's point, yes, he's trying to say vote for me. At the same time, he's gone even a little bit more left with some of his proposals just to be able to compete with the Warrens and the Sanders of the world, because that's the direction that the party is going in. But I don't think he's a stupid man. He makes a fabulous point, which is that if there was, Gary, a high energy, more moderate kind of candidate, and I don't necessarily think Bloomberg is the guy, but if there were, they could potentially be a contender. But this party, oddly enough, as people say the Republican Party has lost its way, I think there's an argument to be made that maybe the Democrats have lost their way.
Or at least have several ways.
What I think, obviously he's being self-serving, but that's the definition of a politician, so we can move past that. I think he's making, the right observation, which is that Jeremy Corbyn is a very far left, weak candidate who got trounced by a highly problematic, poorly behaved right-wing-ish candidate, which does sound very familiar. Is
the poorly behaved, Adam, is that objective or a subjective opinion? The poorly behaved part.
I think reasonable people like you and I could agree on Boris Johnson and Donald Trump without too much trouble. Yeah.
Look, there's one more point to be made about Brexit, and that's people were just fed up. That's why they voted for it in the first place, and it's been dragged out and dragged out and dragged out. And finally, when they came to the referendum last night and they came to the polls, they said, this needs to stop. And people were not saying that they were going to vote for Boris Johnson, but they did. And it's the same kind of thing that happened with President Trump in the last election.
That's exactly what happened. So I think the vote was not left versus right. To me, the vote was, are we in or out? Do we want to remain within the European Union or do we want out? And the people spoke clearly that they do not want to be part of the European Union, which is essentially a pushback against socialism and the broken policies that have failed. Look at Greece, Spain, Italy, beautiful countries. But the socialistic policies, the welfare, entitlement, maybe work ethic or lack thereof. I heard that UK was floating the idea of a 4-day work week, and that's why Boris won, because they're saying we believe in hard work. We believe in what, for example, America's doing. And I think this pushes back against liberal elites in this country, such as a Elizabeth Warren and a Bernie Sanders. I think this is what that's saying.